Hello, this is Jim Durkin. I want to thank everybody for attending today's webinar on Word templates in ACT using Impact Suite. So what you're seeing on the screen right now, of course, is classic ACT. We are on the contact record, Chris Huffman, in a demo database. And underneath here, we do have, notes and histories. We're just going to go and look at his record a little bit right here. We have activities scheduled. We also have custom tables. Using Impact Suite, create custom tables. We have insurance policies. We have projects that he may be attached to, quotes that we may have generated for him. He doesn't have any quotes at the moment, but as you can see, these are additional fields. We're going to use those in our presentation today. So how do you create a Word template here? Up here, we have a Word icon. If you just click on the Create button here, it shows you a list of all your existing templates. If you just want to create a new one from scratch, I'm going to say new, and I'll call it today's demo one, just to give it any unique name. Today's demo, it's been added. Do you want to edit it now? I'm going to say yes. It opens it up in Microsoft Word. Doesn't look like much. Word actually has here the web layout. So there it is, a blank template. So I might want to say, dear, first name, dear last name. How do we enter in the values from ACT? Well, we do that using our plugin to Word. See, it says Impact ACT up here. I'm going to click on Impact ACT, and I'm going to open up our designer. The designer technically logs into the ACT SQL database, giving us a list of all of your fields in your custom tables, in your table. So you added a field called AWF. I guess that's a field in this database. We could do that. But again, we want to say dear name. So we want to say dear, let's see, first name, first name. And then say thank you for your order. And then closing. I'm doing something very simple here just to show you. So we have that, and I'm just going to save this. I'm going to close it down. Word asks me to save it. I'll say yes. There it is online now. So now I have this template, and over here I have the options. What do I want to do with this template? Actions to take. Do I want to open it up? Do I want to email? Do I want to print it? Right now, I'm just going to say open it up. We'll get into other ones. And then what format do we want this document to be in? So if I'm going to continue editing this document, I might want to keep it in a DOC format. Or if I'm going to be sending this out to somebody, I might want to put it in a PDF format. So let's just put it in the PDF format for right now. So I have open document and converted. So down here we have the create button. I'm just clicking on create. You will get the progress bar. And there it is. Thank you for order. And dear Chris is the field that we have filled in. Okay, let me close that down. All right, let's get a little bit more complicated here. Okay, so let's go back to the create button. This time, let's look at something else here. That's the simple one I did today. If you have an existing template in Microsoft Word, in ACT, which is in Microsoft Word, we can use that. You can add it to our list. In fact, there's a button here that says add. I'm clicking on add button. And here's a list of all the templates you may have created in previous versions of ACT. So there's a commitment to buy letter, a negotiation letter. These are all the generic ones from ACT, but I'm going to take the fact cover page one, and I'm going to say open that one up. And you see now it's added to our list. And again, I'll highlight it, open the document, convert it to the PDF. I'm just going to click on the create button, and you're going to see that our merge engine will use the existing ACT documents. There's a nice document from ACT, and as you can see, we have all the information filled out. Okay, let's go back. Now, every time I perform this create button, this window closes for me, which it should, so you go off and do other work. So every time I do something, I'm going to have to come back and hit the create button. All right, let's look at our notes, right? So over here, I'm going to close this down here. Maybe I want a list of these notes on that Word document. One of the things we can do are notes on here. So let's click on create. I have a demo one called notes. Yeah, I had it highlighted already. I'm going to modify this document, show you in here. Again, very simple. Here are your notes for today. Dear contact name. I'm going to go into impact and go to our designer and show you how we did this. This is a little table for notes. I'm going to remove this table. I'm going to start over again. So do you remember before, if I wanted to put in just the address field, if I literally click on address, I put in the address fields. But that doesn't give me a list version. Over here, I said it's list or a table in Word vernacular. So I'm going to say I want to add a table into here. Now, I'm going to add a table. Right now, I have contact selected. I said I want notes. So let me cancel out of here and come down to the notes table. So here's notes, and here's your opportunities. This is where you find all your other entities inside of ACT, your groups, your companies, and things like that. And even the custom tables are in here. Remember we said we have quotes and we have policy tables. Again, let's go back to notes. Here's the field I have in the notes, and I want to say add a table, and I want to say the note type and the actual note itself. I can put in the note date if I wanted to. So I add these three items in this little table builder, and I say okay. And as you can see, it built the table for us. What's cool about it using a table inside of here, Word has an extensive table designer. So I highlighted this table. I'm going to go into the table designer. And you have things like shading and formatting and stuff. But you also have the ability just to select a pre-canned one. So maybe I want the notes to look like this blue. So I'm just going to click on it, and you see it changed the whole look for us. All right, well, let's go and merge this together. Let's see what happens for this notes. It's a list view, so let's close it down, save the changes. And again, I have notes. I have 4 notes sitting here in the background for Chris Hoffman. Here's my demo notes highlighted. I'm just going to create that. And there are my 4 notes, the 1, 2, 3, 4. One of the things that you will find with the impact report engine, or the impact document engine, is that we strip out the formatting rules. Like you might see RTF codes and things like this. They're kind of buried under the hood. Well, our software handles that for you. So if you were to paste inside of your notes something like HTML code, which you can do, we'll strip out the formatting and give you a clean, just the text on that. All right, let's go back to the create. So maybe on this notes, I wanted to create it here. Again, I was just saying open the document, but maybe I want to attach this document to an email. So I'm changing the action to attach to email. I'm still going to convert it to a Word PDF. And I'm just going to hit the create button, and you're going to see what happens this time. Is again, it merges it together, performs the action, and here we are. Outlook is opened up. It defaulted to Chris Hoffman. That's who, the contact we were logging on. Demo notes, and here it is, saying, Dear Chris Hoffman. You could say attached is this. And these are our notes. And if I wanted to, I could, of course, go and just say, open that note. And it is the PDF that we just looked at. Well, maybe we want this note as the body. I mean, why do they have to click through to see the notes? I want that note template to be the email itself. So let's just go to create. This time, instead of saying email it as an attachment, I'm going to change it to email as the body, as the actual body. And I'm going to hit the create button now. And now you're going to see a big change in our Outlook email where we don't have an attachment, but as you can see, that document was just put right inside of here. So you can have a very complicated document. I mean, I just have a couple little things, written here, but you can have a very complicated thank you for your order. This is our delivery reasons. This is that, and that would all be just merged onto the email. A couple of things about the email. On the create, we do have some options. Users like to see the date spelled out or the date in different formats. If I go to here to options and I go to formatting, Here's the date. Now, these are listed on our website. We get to them. It says uppercase D. I'm going to change it to a lowercase d, right? And date time, I'm going to change that to a lowercase d. And I'm going to save it. Now, when we create, same document, we haven't done anything to the template itself. We just set up options. I'm going to go and create that, and you're going to see how the date format is now, the date it follows the date of your Windows. So if you're non-American, which most people are, that would be month, day, month, year, where right now it's month, day, year. And again, this would be automatically formatted to your systems settings. Okay, let's go back into create. Let's talk about something else. Let's go into, let's just create, today's demo. Let's go back into here, modify this. And impact, and go to the designer. Inside of here, maybe we want to say the address at the top, right? So if we come along and say address 1, address 2, address 3, city, comma, state, zip, let's spell this out, state, space, and then zip, or postal code. In the US, it's zip code. So we have this, but what happens when there is no address 2 line in here? Well, Word doesn't know to merge that together, but I'm going to save this, and let's just say open the document. Again, I don't want to go into the email every time because we're just doing a demo here. So today's demo, I'm going to say create. And this is a problem a lot of people have. So you got a blank. Address field 3 is blank here. Well, we don't want that. Actually, ACT doesn't even show the address field 3 on here, but it would work with address field 1 or 2. So some people don't have a suite, and again, you would have 2 blanks in there because of the suite. But what we can do here is go and modify this document, this template. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in a block. We use the list so far. So you've seen us do individual fields, first name, last name, city, state, zip. It's Word there. And let's go to the view and change it back to the print layout. Okay. So here's the one that, leaves blanks in here. What we want to do is go back into the designer. And this time we want to say add a block. So I'm going to come right here, just to give us a little bit of space. I'm going to say add a block. Now, what the add a block does is just that. It's like a block of address, whatever. But the block will shrink or grow depending on the size. So if I say address field 1, carriage return, address field 2, and again, a little cursor here, and I'm just hitting a carriage return. Address field 3, carriage return, and it goes city, comma, space, just like you would want it, city. Then we go to state, and then space, and then zip. Now, even though these don't look like they're on the same line, don't worry about that. It's just so long that this little editor is wrapping on here. I did put a hard carriage return inside of there, but these are just auto wrapping for us. But that's it. So we've actually have address line 1, 2, 3, and city, state, zip. So let's go and add the block. See, now we have a single line enter this block. So again, it'll grow and expand depending on what values are in here. So let's go and close this, save these changes, and again, we're just going to open the document, as a PDF. Let's go and create this. Again, merge it together. It takes a couple seconds, and here we have 12 Maple Avenue. So here on the first one, we had 12 Maple Avenue, which is address field 1, but then we had address field 2 and 3, suite, there were blanks, leaving blanks up here. Well, here is our block, and it merged it together. So you can go as far as actually adding Chris Hoffman at the top too, and say Chris Hoffman at 12 Maple Avenue. That could all be one block for you. So that's the blocking mechanism inside of our merging engine. Let's go in here and create. One of the things that we can do, let's go back and talk about our list views, right? So let's go into demo one, opportunities, and let's go and modify this. I might want to send out a document to somebody saying, hey, here's all the opportunities I have open for you. So here it is below, dear Chris Hoffman, below is a list of your opportunities, opportunity name, record manager, stage, and total. So we have that field, this list already done for us. But maybe we wanted to say what activities we have scheduled for those. We can actually have 2, 3, 4, almost unlimited amount of lists on the same document. So if I have to come down to here, I'm going to go into the designer, and this time I'm going to add activities. And I want to create another list below here. So I'm going to add the table, and it's activities. So activities, these are acts, naming convention, activity type, activity start time. Again, I'm just selecting some out. Regarding, and let's just grab one more, the record creator, who created it. So I've added these 4 fields, or 4 columns into it. And so now I have an opportunity and an activity list on the same template. So let me save this. Before I do that, note, just go and look at our data here. So what we're asking the merge engine to do is take these 3 opportunities and then take these 5 activities and put it onto one document. So let's go and create document, and I'll create it. So there is opportunity 1, 2, and 3, and here is our to-dos listed out there for us. So I want to wind out today by telling you that you can do documents for any one of your lists views down here. You can do documents that are automated, that are your email bodies, which simplifies life, and you can do documents for singular events, activities. Hey, Joe, here's all the activities for you, and I can push them right into their email at any time. So again, I want to thank everybody for attending our webinar today, and if you have any questions, we will get to those. I see a few of them. We'll have some questions answered afterwards. But again, I want to thank everybody for attending.